Hello everyone, this is Ashwina and welcome back to my channel. Today is the time for some mythological fiction novels. First, we have a book series by Amish Tripathi, the Ramachandra series. It was way back when I started reading this book. This book was released first, so I had read it before, I think during my 11th standard, 12th standard, and recently I read the fourth book, The War of Lanka. Ramachandra series is a retelling of Ramayana, which doesn't follow the exact Valmiki Ramayana. There are deviations. So let me tell you how the books are. The first book is Ram, the Scion of Ishwaku. So this book is from the birth of Lord Ram till the abduction of Lady Sita. This book starts from the birth of Sita till the abduction. And third book, Ravana, starts from the birth of Ravana till the abduction. And this book is from the abduction to the end of the war. Okay, I don't remember much from these books because I read it way back. But the author has taken good amount of time into exploring the personalities of these three characters. It's like a proper introduction to the character and the way they think, or you can imagine the entire character based upon these three books. It's like the stories from everyone's perspective, not exactly the perspective, but the story where these are the heroes. Like in the first book, Ram is the hero, second book, Sita is the hero, and in the third book, it's about Ravan. So you get to have a broader perspective to the story till the abduction. This book is after the abduction. So there are two things which I loved about this book. One is Amish has explored the scientific nature of the architecture or their war tactics. He's explained it well. Also, usually when we read Ramayana, the four brothers, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrugna, so you don't get to read much about Bharat and Shatrugna. Like you do read about Bharat, but I forever felt that Shatrughan, he gets hidden away in the whole story narrative. But here, Amish has explored his personality to be an introverted nerd, a smart guy, the intelligent guy, the brain group of four brothers. So what I loved about the story is the scenes when these four brothers do the magic. The way they converse, the way they plan out things, it's amazing. And secondly, the thing I was fascinated with is the intellectual conversations between Sita, Ravan, and Kumbhakarna. Like, who would have thought about it? Those conversations are actually very rich and deep. That was Ramachandra series. Okay, next I'm going to talk about Shiva trilogy by the same author. I don't have the books right now here, but you'll see them flashed on the screen. So these three books, The Immortals of Meluha, Nagas, and the Vayuputras. These three books, Shiva trilogy, was the first series by Amish Tripathi. I read it during my higher secondary, and then Vayuputra I finished in first year. So this follows the stories of Shiva and Sati. It's a retelling, of course, and the book starts as a tribal leader, Shiva. He sets on a journey to save his tribe, to save his people, and that's how he ends up in the kingdom of Daksh. There is a legend that in the kingdom there will be an avatar of Shiva who will destroy the bad, who will destroy the evil. And the book is an elaborate discussion on good and evil. It's Shiva's journey on discovering what is that evil he is supposed to destroy. Meanwhile, he deals with the responsibility of becoming the avatar. So this story, the Shiva trilogy, is rich in the depth, the philosophies that they discuss. The author has discussed about life or the ways of life, the right and wrong. There are various aspects, various wrongs of the society which the author has addressed, and it's a philosophically rich read. I will insist you to read that first. It is a wonderful story. So next author is Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. These are the two books that I've read by her. The first is Palace of Illusions. This is a retelling of Mahabharat from Draupadi's perspective. So in this book, the author have imagined what must have been Draupadi's emotions and her thoughts while she went through the events of Mahabharata. May that be her birth or the Swayamvar, then the Dhyuta Sabha, or the a battle of Mahabharata. Like how those events impacted her life and what were her thoughts. Okay, these books are written by a woman, so you'll actually get the perspective of women on the story. There is one thing, it could be a spoiler. It could be a spoiler. So if you're not here, just skip to the next book, okay? Because I'm going to talk about it. This book describes a relationship between Karn and Draupadi. Not an exclusive relationship, okay? I know, I've met a few people, I've read the reviews, and many of you are not fond of that idea where authors try to form some relationship between Karn and Draupadi, which is fine, okay? Everyone has their own point of views. But I feel it could be very much possible. I'm not talking about a romantic relationship, but when you just look into the characters, Draupadi's character and Karn's character, you find many similarities. Like, they both were fierce, they both were determined, they both stood up for themselves, or they talked about the wrongs. Also, they talked about the injustice that was happening with them. They argued smartly. They went for what they desired. Like, they both were like these strong characters. And when you have two characters with similar personalities, you tend to notice each other. I'm not saying they were in love or something like that. They can hate each other. They can hate each other to the core. But their thought process or the way they saw the world was at the same energy level. And that's why I believe that the authors can imagine some story there, some connection there. It is a possibility. So you'll see that thing in this book. This book talks about many other stuff also. So give it a try. The second is The Forest of Enchantment, is the retelling of Ramayana from Sita's point of view. There are more than 300 retellings of Ramayana. The story has evolved a lot. The stories that I have watched on TV and some stories that you read, not the entire, I've not read the Ramayana, but the stories, the retellings, or even the oral stories from it. So in this book, you get Sita's point of view. All the stories that I've read before this, I always felt that the portrayal of Sita is not strong enough. What we say is Abla Nari. Even while reading this book, initially I thought that. But I still went through the book because the writing is so good. At the end, when she stood up for herself, I liked it. But still I had this idea that why she's shown so soft? Shouldn't Sita be portrayed strong? But now I have a different perspective on this. Somehow, when we say a strong character, we try to force this masculine attributes to it. Like she should be fierce, good at fighting, or shouldn't be soft, like the toxic masculine attributes. In this book, the author has described Sita as a woman with challenges that a woman faces. May those challenges be from the people she loves or the society. This book actually gives you the perspective of a woman on the events of Ramayana. You resonate with her, the love that she feels, the humiliation. Sometimes we have this narrative to defend the actions that she was a goddess. And when we compare and say like women are goddesses, we should worship them. We also mean that the goddess should be able to handle everything. When we say somebody is a goddess, we say you shouldn't feel the human emotions, you should be idol of sacrifice, but that is not it. So in this book, the author has actually portrayed her emotions in a brilliant manner. Everyone should read this. You must read this book to have a woman's perspective on Ramayana. Our next author is Kevin Mishal. There are these two books that I've read by him. He has a very famous series, which is also mythological fiction. It's Kalki. There are 3 books. It's a trilogy. I have read the reviews that it's amazing. I started reading the first book, but he had written the death of a character who really resonated with me. So I couldn't go ahead. Like, I couldn't finish the first book. But I will go back to that book because the writing was good. So yeah, in this video, I'm not including that series. But these were some other 2 books which I read. One was Meghnad. This book is, I had ordered a surprise book package and this book came in that. It is a story about Meghnad, the son of Ravana. Okay, so this book was my introduction to Meghnad. Before this, I didn't know about the existence of Meghnad. So any idea that I have about Meghnad is through this book. And it's a fiction, so it doesn't follow the exact narrative. But the character described in this book, of course, is flawed. He's a grey character, has anger issues, like major anger issues. It's a villain story. But it also says that villains can also have emotions for certain people in their life. So it was a nice read. Next is Karn, the king of Anga. Okay, there are many reviews about this, that there is a lot of deviation from the actual story, which is true. But then let me talk about the way Kevin has described Karna's personality, which was really good. He portrayed him flawed. Karna had insecurities that led him to take some stupid actions, which I liked because sometimes when we write stories from a person's perspective, especially Karna, he's famously known to be the tragedy hero of Mahabharata or the misunderstood character. And I have observed this. In an attempt to defend Karna's character, we tend to glorify him, which is wrong. He was a grey character. He had done some terrible things, such as his role in the Dhyut Sabha, where he did wrong. What he said or the way he acted has no excuse, not even the injustice that he faced in his life. So here in this book, I like that thing. Okay, this story talks about his initial struggles and then how he becomes the king of Anga. This is good. Like, it has deviated, but there are some good deviations. You'd like it. I love the way the wars were described. There is a war in there, the war tactics. That was brilliant. So that's all. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Do like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.